I got a guy named James Bond calling me. I'm not kidding you. It says James Bond. We're not going to answer James Bond's call. Anyways, listen, you don't need to drink one of these every day, but at least 3 times a week, you should be having used something for your gut health. Listen, just read Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil, and he'll talk to you about how getting a high enema is a good idea. What we're about to witness here is not every real estate deal works. You could buy it in a great location. You could buy a great lot. If the house doesn't have real sexy curb appeal, you might be in trouble. That's where this house is. This house is gonna take a very unique buyer. It's a nice house, but it's funky. You got decks in the front of the house. That looks more like a back of a house than it does look like a front of a house. You don't have any grand entry, but you got a great lot here. And it's on about an acre lot, and it's all wooded. But if I'm gonna pay $1 million for a house, there's a couple things that I've got to have. Number 1, 3-car garage. This has a 2-car garage. Number 2, the master bedroom has to have 2 sinks. If it doesn't have 2 sinks and you're paying $1 million, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm not sharing a sink with my wife for $1 million. Number 3, you should have a pretty good sized walk-in closet. Number 4, you should have more than 1 shower head in the master bathroom. 1 shower head, yes, for $500,000, but this, come on, you gotta have at least 2 shower heads. There's just some things that I'm like, for $1 million, you gotta have it. And this house doesn't have it, but maybe there's a deal to be had here. I know the guy, he used hard money to do this. He's a general contractor. I need to look up the history to see what it sold for so I can get an idea of the inside, you'll see, is gorgeous. They crushed it, but maybe they overspent a little bit. Maybe they thought something different. Maybe you're upside down. All of a sudden like that, you're upside down. Real estate doesn't always work. Anybody that tells you, oh, you always make money in real estate, they're a dumbass and they've never done real estate before, so don't listen to them. You don't always make money in real estate. You can over time if you hold it eventually and maybe, and at some point, yes, but in the short term, you might be upside down. And I think that's where we're at right now on this house. Location-wise though, this is the closest to my kids. The other one's in Farmington, the other one's in Bountiful, which is further away from them. And I was talking to my birth father yesterday about how people they love to hate me. They don't even know me. And I hate it when people are like, oh, I hate Tom Cruise. Really? Do you know him? Have you spent an hour with him? You spent a day with him? How can you say you hate somebody if you've never spent any time with them? You could say, I don't like how he acts. Cool, because you've seen him acting before. Like you could say that. But to say you hate somebody, to put that blanket statement on somebody is honestly, it's ignorant. In my mind, it's immature. So quit saying you hate somebody until you get to know somebody. Now, once you get to know them, and if they're a dick or whatever else, then you can be like, yeah, I don't like him, because you've had experience with them. But if you've only interacted with them on Instagram because you watched their reels or went to a movie theater and you watched their movies, and you're gonna say you hate somebody, maybe it's because you hate yourself. We're here, there's airplanes over here, there's hangars over here. We're out at what's called the Bountiful Sky Park. This is my friend's office building, that's his hangar over there, and he was kind enough to let me just snag some space from him. In the meantime, as I try and figure out where I'm gonna actually land, I'm looking at so many amazing opportunities right now, from a nutrition company to a software company and to real estate. So I've got lots of options that I'm really excited about, but I love this area. I love being around airplanes. Right now, we're waiting on a guy named Lance King. Lance is a stud. You're gonna meet Lance. In my mind, he's one of the best unknown, best kept secrets in the health and wellness space. You're gonna see this dude, he's around my age, but he is yoked. He's the most ripped dude that, like, his size to me is the perfect size. He's not bodybuilder, like crazy huge. He's like in shape, fit, but more important than all of that, he's a super cool guy. And he's got gratitude in his heart. He's got love that emanates from his being, but he's awesome. He's the one that got me kick-started, getting my fat ass in shape. So I'm excited for you to meet Lance. He's coming on the way right now. Okay, let's meet Lance. I hope you brought your walking shoes.
Absolutely.
Because I got some.
I've got my running shoes on.
That's good, because I have my church shoes on. We're looking at some real estate. We're trying to figure out if we can make a deal on something. And we're at a home right now that, honestly, it's beautiful. Here's the problem. Turn the camera. You're on a main road. This home's been sitting for quite a while, and here's the problem. it's the main road, but the home is gorgeous. Brand new home, so let's check it out. Let's see why this home isn't moving, because we're in a desirable part of Utah. We're in Farmington, Utah, and there's no reason this home should still be for sale unless it's just overpriced. And listen, at $265 a foot, in my opinion, that's a little rich for Farmington, Utah. I'd like to be under $200 a foot, but maybe when we go in here, we'll understand why it's $265. If you're gonna do a formal dining, that's how you do formal dining. After touring this house, it's pristine. It's one of the nicest homes. It reminds me of something you would see in like Irvine, like Newport, the style, the feel. It's not a normal Utah house, but it's a long ways from a deal. We got to figure out, why are they selling it? How creative can you get with it? Got to figure out, I'm sure it's the road that's turning people off. Who wants a $2 million home on a main road? That's the hard part about this house. But the inside of this thing is perfect. And the backyard is incredible. We're going to go see another home in Bountiful that's about 1.8, and it's $192 a foot. So it's a better deal, it's a better buy, but I think you're gonna have to put some work into that home. We're gonna head up to Bountiful and check that one out, and we'll see. We're still trying to find a little deal here, trying to find something here in Utah.